Now, Indian media is all full of coverage about Putin. Now, here are some of the prominent US media headlines and reactions to Narendra Modi Vladimir Putin meeting in New Delhi on December 4 and 5, and how the summit is being framed in American coverage. Let's have a look. The Washington Post says that Trump's crackdown on Russian oil hangs heavy over Putin visit to India. The article argues that the visit puts Modi in a delicate diplomatic challenge, forced to reassure Moscow without alienating US President Donald Trump. It also notes that India's oil imports from Russia and defense and energy deals likely to be addressed add pressure on New Delhi. CNN and BBC. As quoted in other coverage, the visit is described as a high stakes test of India's geopolitical autonomy, balancing between long standing Russian ties, which is arms energy, and strategic ties with the US. The tightrope of diplomacy is frequently emphasized. Commentary referencing US media reactions, example, analysts quoted by Western outlets. Some reaction frames the meeting as a signal that India is refusing to bow to US pressure, with New Delhi opting to preserve its energy and defense cooperation with Russia. That stance is described in some outlets as New Delhi standing by its ties with Moscow despite Western sanctions. Wider foreign policy coverage, as also reported by the US media, many write-ups place the summit in the larger context of the war in Ukraine and the global realignment underway. India's balancing act between Russia and the West is being portrayed as a microcosm of emerging multipolarity. A narrative of risk plus pragmatism is also playing out. While some US media question whether India's continued engagement with Russia undermines Western efforts to isolate Moscow, others note that India is simply protecting its energy interests and defense needs. Well, now they are describing the relationship as a transactional rather than ideological.